Hey everyone, Eddie here again with another video, and I want to talk about voting for Trump. So, as I had said in a previous video, I was actually attending funeral services, and so I got to see a lot of my family members. And I actually was talking to my brother who said that he had got a Uber a couple of days prior. And the Uber driver was talking to him, saying that he said the Uber driver was Latino, and was saying that he basically said, like, I voted for Trump. Trump said he was going to clean up all of the illegal immigrants that were violent, and I believed him, and then he deported his wife, and like, she's not violent, she never had any criminal record. And so my brother said he just sat there and he just listened, but he said he felt kind of like awkward, like he had nothing to say, probably because what could you say? Some people have said that that isn't feasible, that is impossible. But again, the left was deemed as, oh, the sky is falling. Trump would never do all that. If he says he's going after violent offenders, he's just going after violent offenders. And guess what? That's not true. I mean, the some of the ICE raids have been reported that they're actually arresting American citizens, veterans of our country, and then having to release them. How in what world were they violent offenders that he was going after? And so, as my brother and I was having the conversation, my sister chimed in and said that that one of the biggest searches was people going online to see if they could change their vote. Could they instead vote for Kamala Harris? And I couldn't do anything but shake my head and think, surely that had to be a joke, because, I mean, do people not understand how our elections work, how things are supposed to play out? And so the people looking toward, I would say, others, other minority groups, for help or for a shoulder to lean on. I don't think it's necessarily, black people are ignoring everyone, but to be perfectly honest, this really isn't a new state for us. I mean, we've had to deal with a lot of different things in the past, from oppression, Jim Crow, institutional discrimination. So this is something that, we'll take a couple of minutes or a little while just to organize and figure out our strategies and move forward, because that's partially what we do. But it's kind of hard to be sympathetic when people were saying during the election, hey, this guy's crazy. You can't really take him at his word. I mean, he'll say anything to get elected, and then to be dismissed. It's just really hard to be sympathetic. Now, the Christian thing, or just being a good person, would be to be forgiving and understanding, but and not but in a bad way. Well, I guess it is in a bad way, but the issue with that is that we seem to have two camps. One camp that tries to have integrity, that tries to be forgiving and understanding, and then you have a camp that does not care and will just get rid of the norms, slash everything up. But when they get in trouble, then they want this other group to show mercy and compassion on them. When they win, no, they want to kick this other group down. And I agree that we should show some type of compassion and empathy, because, you know, even if the person, I mean, if the person voted for Trump, I feel bad that his wife was deported. You know what I mean? I feel bad that people don't know that once the election is over with, you can't change your vote. I mean, I really do feel bad about that, because that's a conversation we should have about, what are people being trained on? What are they learning? But I guess what I kind of struggle with is is a lot of people, and I'm not saying Democrats were using the term FAFO. So basically, mess around and see what happens. And so we're now in the see what happens phase. And I, if you know anything about me, I'm not a type of person that wants to revel in people suffering. I don't even like my enemies to suffer. People who do me wrong, I don't wish ill on them or anything, because I truly believe that I will stand judgment for how I treat others. So I try to make peace with all. I can get angry with someone, but I still don't wish any ill will on people. But in this particular case, I really do think that a lot of people actually have to suffer and hurt. And, a lot of people who, through no fault of their own, are going to have to suffer and hurt as well. Because it's until you've experienced the pain, that you understand why it is important that you need to get out and vote. Why it is important that you need to pay attention to the local school board elections, or what your congressman or statesman is doing, because it matters. It matters. You can't just, turn it off and say, I'm not going to worry about it. And then, a month before the election, turn on and try to well, I need to do my research and make my informed decision. You actually need to stay engaged. But before you can even get to that point, you need to feel a little pain. And so I think we're all going to feel a little pain. And if we can keep the democracy, as the statement says, if we can keep our democracy, if we're fortunate to keep our democracy, when we make those changes, we need to make sure that we put people in that have integrity, that have a backbone, that will actually care about us, you and I, the voter, rather than some billionaire, and the fact that that billionaire will make them lose their job. To be perfectly honest, our representatives should be more afraid of us than Elon Musk. And when I say afraid of us, I'm not talking in some type of violent term. Again, I do not condone violence. I do not wish ill on anyone, but our votes, united and combined, should cause all representatives to take pause. To take pause. Because, I personally, I'm so tired of the cycle where we keep going around this wheel. Since as long as I've been alive, it's been like this. A Democrat is in the office. They're making great gains. They're doing stuff that's helping. And for whatever reason, a Republican comes in. And every single time, the Republican drives the country down, and it takes a Democrat to come back in and fix it. And before they can even get the fruits of the labor, before they can enjoy the promised land, they're taken out with a Republican who goes around and messes it up again. And it's just like, can we stop this vicious cycle, because it's not working. During the election, Bill Clinton made this statement during the I believe it was during the DNC, that in the last 50-something years, there's been a total of 51 million jobs added to the U.S. economy. Of those 51 million jobs, 50, 50, 50 million jobs were added under a Democratic president. The remainder, 1 million, was under Republican. So it seems like our country prospers when Democrats are in charge. They really do, for all their faults, they really do try to look out. But you have a subset that seems to just like, no, again, I have to jump into the whole thing about, the prices of eggs was just way too high. And right now they're even higher under Trump, but I just don't hear or see the outcry. And so I think more suffering has to happen, and then people will actually appreciate the precious gift that our founding fathers gave us, the right to voice our opinion. And it's my prayer and my hope and my belief that after enough pain, that we will elect officials. And I will be completely honest, some of them could be Republicans. This current crop, no, I don't see that happening, but some of them literally could be Republicans who will get in, who will value the Constitution, their constituents, and look to strengthen up our institutions so that this never happens again. I can always dream, I can always be optimistic, but I still think that it's going to have to be a little pain. People are going to have to see, we're going to have to hear the stories of grandmas and grandfathers crying because Meals on Wheels was removed, or their Social Security check stopped payment, or people dying because, they've rolled back the ACA. People are going to actually have to suffer in order for us to turn things around. And I think that's unfortunate, but that cycle is the way it seems to always be. Because until it comes to your door, I feel like people are checking out. And I'm begging you all, please check back in. Check back in. We need all hands on deck. This is really serious. We do not want oligarchs. I don't want an oligarch. So, anyway, this is just my opinion. Love to hear yours in the comment section. And thank you again for watching the video. And as always, if you continue to watch, I will continue to create. Thank you so very much. Take care.